let's go in and actually check where the most recent live transfers have come from and even see if they're even coming from the newer campaigns. We can do that. Let's go here. Also too, what we can do is we can set it up. I don't know if you're categorizing them in your Lofty, but we can go through and maybe set that up right now as well. If you are tagging them differently based on the type of lead. So it looks like we're testing a bunch of this stuff right now. We basically just have anywhere from like $2 or so per ad, new construction, taxed, relocate, and downsize. So we have actually a really, really good variety of stuff that we're running right now. Looks like, what do we have here? Sort by lowest cost per lead. This one's crushing. So this relocate one, it looks like the relocation ones are crushing. Relocation, tax, downsize, and new construction are doing the worst. They're even still not doing terrible. I mean, $5 leads is great, but up here it looks like we're getting like $1.42, $1.93, which if you're seeing the quality is similar, we might as well just go with whatever one's getting the absolute lowest cost per lead if you're not seeing a big, huge quality difference, to just push your budget to get as many leads as possible. I mean, if you're getting sub $2 leads and with just $20 a day, for example, pulling in 10 leads a day, 300 a month with an average 13%, which seems like it's probably dropped. Our average lead to live transfers. Let's actually look at your lead to live transfer rates recently and kind of see what we're seeing here. So lifetime total is 11.28%. So if we get 100 leads in the door, we're typically able to transfer about 11 over to you. That's a lifetime, but let's just go ahead and look at July so far. Oh yeah, okay. So July is at 2.78%. So we're still generating a really good amount of leads, but just looks like the transfers are way lower. So only 3 so far this month, which is a 2.78% lead to live transfer rate. Dial to new lead ratio is 12.25%. Cost per lead, $3. What if we reset this here? Okay, so it looks like on average we have a higher dial to new lead ratio. So 15 instead of, I think it said 12. Pickup rate is about the same. Speed to lead time 2.53, and cost per lead is actually higher. So far this month we have a lower cost per lead, but lower to dial to new lead ratio by 3. So 3 calls less per lead. Speed to lead time. Okay, this is a pretty big one, unless our speed to lead data is messed up. I know we've been having some issues on that real quick. Let me check. ISA stats, speed to lead, partner name, Kyle. That 60 might have been skewing the data. Let's just double check here. Yeah, so that was skewing the data quite a bit. So it's actually more so around 2 minutes, 2.96 minutes. Pickup rate seems to be a little bit lower. What we might be due for is some new phone numbers. Phone numbers could be potentially coming across as spam or scam. That's a very big possibility. So what we'll go ahead and do is go in and maybe swap the phone numbers. You won't have to change your live transfer number because the way we have the routing done, but we can go in and swap those phone numbers. Maybe we're coming across as spam or scam. In regards to the live transfers, we like to call from obviously the best number possible, whatever's going to pop up on the user's end. So if I go to phone numbers, 702 is the best area code, right? And then probably just having a number that says Las Vegas is best, or do you think any of these other locations would have a higher pickup rate for any reason?
No, Las Vegas is probably the best, yeah.
Do we have Courtney or Madeline on the calls?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. We can set it up as like speed to lead system where they'll get the calls as well, just in case you can't take it, or do you not need that?
We don't need that. It's fine.
Okay. And then let me just double check. So partner/agent 702. And then we actually need to run a quick automation to change all the current leads from the old number to the new. So custom partner workflows. Okay, perfect. There we go. So that'll go some new numbers. And then in regards to the different campaigns that we're running right now, we set up this new lead in action, basically filtering system, whether they're new construction, downsize, tax, or relocate. Basically what it's doing is it's going to tag them based on what type of lead they are. So new construction lead, if it's that, downsize lead, tax lead, relocate lead, depending on the offer they came in on. It's also going to update the clicked ad details to let the ISA team know what ad they specifically clicked on. And so what we can potentially do is, based on those tags, is do you need them, is there for any reason you would need them more updated in your Lofty account if they have a specific tag, to add that tag in Lofty, or do you not really have that set up right now, or is it not really that big a deal?
I think they set it up that way, but I'd have to double check. So
Okay, because I know we are adding a tag, which is we're adding like a tag to basically let them know that it's coming from us, I believe, or Facebook or something along those lines.
yeah.
But if you want them to go into any different tag or different thing for any specific reason, whether it be tax, relocate, downsize, or something along those lines, we could set that up. But that's really only if you see that that's something that really needs to happen. Configure. Yeah, we're adding a mass tag to the lead as of right now.
Okay.
And then it should be pulling all the notes into your Lofty. These are all the live transfers are coming into your Lofty, right?
Yeah, they are. I noticed it.
Perfect. Okay. Cool. Okay. Other than that, that is fine. Yeah, so I guess really it's kind of a matter of figuring out kind of why the transfer rate is so low. I mean, lead flow is good. It's really good. I mean, if we look at what it was in from June 1st to June 14th, yeah, it was only 66. So we've literally generated half the amount of lead or double the amount of leads that we've generated so far this month as last month. But the lead to, and even with a lower cost per lead, higher dial to new lead ratio is what I'm seeing though. So I'm wondering if it's primarily just a matter of calling the leads more times. Speed to lead time is a minute less, which could be pickup rate. Let's double check what pickup rate was. Pickup rate is high, or pickup rate is about the same. Okay, what I think I'll have the team do is just tell them to make more outbound calls to your account. It looks like from July 1st to July 14th, we made about 1,300 calls on your account. We go to June 1st to June 14th. We generated about half the leads and still made over that amount of dials. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
so it seems like just the dial to really the only metric I see lacking is speed to lead by a minute, which a minute is a good amount of time, but I don't think it would make that drastic of a difference in regards to basically a 200% less transfers from 9% to 3%. But the biggest thing I'm seeing here is like dial to new lead ratio is dramatically different. I mean, if we go from last month, June 1st to June 14th, we had 21. July 1st to July 14th is 12. So, I mean, that's calling a lead on average 10 times less, so about half, which I think makes sense just because we've doubled lead volume. So it makes sense that they're being called half as much, assuming that everyone's getting the same attention. But I just do not know why lead to live transfer rate would be so low. So I can put in a request to start just banging out more calls on your account. And then I'll just ask the ISA team if they're really seeing anything different, if they're just seeing that these leads are more difficult to convert, or if these leads are coming in and they're not actually coming in looking for what we're advertising on, because obviously these are some unique offers. We assume that we know the type of people that's coming in them, but I'll ask the ISA team and maybe listen to some call recordings and just kind of see how these calls are being held, because ideally, I mean, this is the one that's doing the best right now with sub $2 leads for the relocation, which is just why pay LA prices for half the space. Las Vegas homes offer double the size with none of the chaos. Leave LA, live Vegas, escape LA prices, upgrade in Vegas. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't think anyone would really be clicking on this ad for any other reason than they live in LA and they want to go to Vegas, or they want more information on Vegas homes, what they look like, get a custom list of Las Vegas homes. So I don't really know why there would be a disconnect there, but I guess it's always good to ask the team and just ask them kind of what kind of conversations we're having from these.
Maybe it's more of them just thinking about it and not even really serious.
Yeah, maybe more of a looky-loo offer.
Yeah.
What we can do is, what would actually be pretty cool to see is if we go in here and do tag is live transfer. I know we haven't had a ton that have come over since running these new offers, but we might be able to see none of these are tagged with the new offer stuff. Let's see if maybe we didn't set it up yet. Let's go to it. Okay, so this one was relocate. This most recent transfer was from the relocation. Do you remember if you were able to connect, or how the, yeah, it looks like it was received. How'd the conversation with Angel go?
Call. When was that? Because I do
Uh,
remember
I think it was
one
on
of
the
them
ninth.
made a mistake. So
I think it was on the 10th. Angel, the notes say location, she wants to be near Las Vegas. His time frame is about 4 months and wants to see the property, likes he'll move forward and will apply finance by himself. Everything goes well. He's not in a rush. 2 to 4 months, needs financing, 3 bed, 2 bath, no extra additional notes. I can
yeah,
give you the phone number too if you need.
there was a recent live transfer. Let's see here. never mind. There was one that they had booked, I guess, by mistake. So, but that wasn't the one.
Okay.
I don't remember that one, honestly.
Let's see if it's in my, let's see if it's in the back end notes as well. Wait, why did I see, I feel like I saw another Kyle. That must have just been the top of that. Oh, no, sorry. It looks like it was actually a false transfer. Okay. That might have been the one that they did on accident. Was it Thursday that they did the one on accident? Or was it maybe earlier, like this month?
It was recent.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably that one then.
Could have been either that one or Jennifer Pitzer. I'm not sure. I think it was.
Okay. Yeah, it could be because I'm not seeing her in our thing here. So if it was an accident, they probably wouldn't have submitted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay. Cool. Okay, that makes sense. So that was a relocate one. Let's check the other one. That was Angel. Let's look at Dawn. Let's see if Dawn came from the tax ad actually, so that's good. A good amount of like kind of. I see here you said, "Hey Dawn, nice talking to you. I sent over some condos for you to look at. I'll have my lender reach out as well. Have a good weekend." How did that one go?
Yeah, he was looking for something like a 55 and over condo, but we don't really have too many of those here. So yeah, I sent them over to my lender to get pre-approved.
Was he out of state or was he in Las Vegas? Do you remember?
Yeah, he was out of state. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you got to let him know for something that'll get him 55 and over in LA. You get a mansion in Las Vegas.
All right.
Might change his mind. But okay, that's good. So I'm glad that we're getting at least a good amount of variety, at least so far. At least from those last two. Let's see if we were running those on this third transfer. This was a good. Also great, by the way, just being in the CRM. Just looking at all this stuff, I bet it just gives you a lot more clarity on just kind of what's going on. But yeah, we can see this lead responded to our the 5 minute notification, and she finally video doctor appointment call around 11 a.m.
Yeah, I did call her
Yeah.
before she sent that message.
Okay, so she was the downsize. She was the downsized one. Downsized as well. Okay. So yeah, those last two are really the only ones relocate, tax, and the rest is downsize. We'll just get some more reps in for those. Really, the main thing is just really, I guess, just figuring out why the live transfers are slower. So what I'll go ahead and do is I'll chat with the ISA team, and I'll just say, hey, Kyle's campaign, for some reason, last month at this time, we had a 9% lead to live transfer rate, and we're only at 3% right now. Is there anything, we are running a new offer, we're getting some stuff from LA. Is there anything that you guys are seeing differently? With these being out of state people, I don't know, they could potentially be less open to someone calling. I don't really know. That's why I'm going to ask them for feedback and kind of see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is the ads are absolutely crushing. There's no doubt about that. The ads are smashing just for some reason. It also could just be a little bump in the data. It could be nothing to do with the leads and more so just a little bit of a dry spot with the ISA team. It could be potentially. I don't want to just assume it's just the different type of leads, although it is obviously just a coincidence since we started generating those, but I'll get some more feedback from the team before really assuming and kind of seeing from there. Your feedback is helpful in regards to not really, and I know we don't really have enough data in the door to really be able to tell, but once we get a few more transfers over, if you don't really see the quality is much different, it's not worse, it's not really better, it's right about where it's been with these type of leads, then we might as well just shoot for whatever offer gets the absolute lowest cost per lead, as long as we're not seeing that ripple effect in the transfer rate. Obviously, if we're generating 2 times more lead from the tax ad, but it's getting 3 times less transfers, it doesn't make sense. But we just have to figure out kind of why that's happening. So I'll be sure to ping the ISA team and kind of let you know. If I know anything sooner, or I feel like you need to know, I can obviously message you. Other than that, we'll obviously just make the changes on our end. Other than that, I'll message you if we find out anything really super important that we might need you for. Other than that, we'll probably just chat on our next call and kind of see if the transfer rate has increased on that side of things. If that all sounds good to you, as well, if you didn't have any questions kind of leading into this call or over any of the data or any of the ads or anything that I showed you, if you had any questions come up or anything along those lines.
No, I mean we can keep going with it for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be out of town though starting this Thursday for 10 days.
Okay.
So I don't know, we should just keep running it and let it run and
Yeah, the
won't be able
data
to.
Well, yeah, the data will still be good. If you want, we can put one of those girls on the phone if you really think it'll be beneficial, or if you don't really think they're like, I don't know, like what their position is on the team. If you don't really think they'll be able to hold those calls or something, if you have someone else, maybe we can do that. I think really with just like the volume of the transfers right now, I mean, worst case scenario, maybe you miss out on, if we keep the same rate right now, maybe one or two. So I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. Where are you headed? Just out of curiosity.
I'm going to be in Hawaii for 5 days and then Arizona for the next 5 days.
Nice, Hawaii. I've heard a lot of good things about Hawaii. It's definitely on the bucket list. Have you been before?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
My family's originally from there, so we used to
nice.
go a lot. Yeah, yeah. It's been about maybe 4 years since we've been back. So
Did you grow up there at all or no?
no. I grew
No.
up in California. Yeah, but my
I've
parents.
always, I don't know if jealous is the right word, but just like living on an island and growing up on an island in Hawaii, that's got to be so dope. Like that's got to be so like cool. I obviously know they have like their own challenges, obviously living on an island away from, majority of civilization, but you just kind of think about, just like the movies, I guess, you think about that ideal like surfing, walking around barefoot, always having
Yeah,
your tan, your surfboard and stuff like that. Is that really, really like actually the culture?
exactly how it is.
That's so cool. Yeah, I'll definitely have to visit. Some of my buddies actually from Arizona that I was traveling with when I was up in Vancouver, they said they'd been and they said probably one of the most beautiful places they've been to, and we'd have to like plan a trip.
So you got to go there once.
Where
I'm
are you
in
heading in Arizona?
Phoenix area.
Phoenix, nice. Yeah, my buddies are from Tucson. Cool. Other than that, I'll let you go. I got to run to another call here. If you need anything in the meantime, just be sure to let me know. We're just gonna look into that transfer ratio. It's so weird because it's such a dramatic dip that there's clearly something there, but I just want to make sure we're not assuming it's the new leads. I'll talk to the team. I have some one-to-one calls with them tomorrow and just kind of ask each of them individually and kind of see where their different answers lead me to go. Other than that, I'll let you know if we find anything too crazy or if we need any of your help with things along those lines. If not, we'll just kind of make our own tweaks on the back end or we reconnect on our next call and kind of see if that transfer rate's gotten up at all.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. Sounds good. Appreciate your time, Kyle. Hope you have a great trip, safe travels, and you have a good start to the week, man.
Thanks. All right, you too.